This special edition of the broadcast over the course of the next 30 minutes will be updating you on everything that's been happening around the world. Now, boasting his America First policy, US President Donald Trump has unveiled a new national security strategy. He's called on Pakistan to take a decisive action against terrorism. Donald Trump has said that the United States wants Pakistan to help extremism. And also in a wide-ranging speech, Donald Trump said that his security strategy for the first time addresses the economic security and would also include a complete rebuilding of the US infrastructure as well as a wall along the southern US border with Mexico. A passenger train has derailed on a bridge over the major highway near Seattle on Monday morning, killing at least 6 passengers on board and injuring 100 others. The officials have said that the death toll is expected to rise further. The Amtrak passenger train was on its inaugural trip on a new service route when it derailed, spilling multiple cars off an interstate overpass. The several motorists in the vehicles that were struck by the fallen train suffered injuries, but there were no fatalities that were reported amongst the people in those vehicles, according to the sheriff's office. The United States was further isolated over US President Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. This when it blocked a United Nations Security Council call for the declaration to be withdrawn. The remaining 14 council members have voted in favor of the Egyptian drafted resolution, which did not specifically mention the United States or Donald Trump, but have expressed deep regret at the recent decisions concerning the status of Jerusalem. It was the first veto that was cast by the United States in the Security Council in more than 6 years. Now, the head of Zimbabwe's military, who had led the de facto coup that ended Robert Mugabe's 37-year-long rule last month, is all set to retire. Now, this paving the way for his widely anticipated appointment as vice president. 61-year-old Constantine Chiwenga is the top contender to become a deputy to the new president, Emmanuel Mnangagwa. The army commander, Philip Sibanda, will be succeeding Chiwenga as the defense force chief. The Chileans woke to the news on Monday that billionaire conservative Chiles Pinera will be beginning a second term as Chile's president in March. The Pinera had beaten his centre-left opponent of Alexandre Güler in Sunday's election, and 68-year-old Pinera had won more votes than any presidential candidate since Chile's return to democracy in 1990, with a 9% win over centre-left Senator Güler. And a day after the Organization of American States called for a new presidential election in Honduras, Vice President Ricardo Alvarez ruled out a new vote. The electoral authorities have said that US-friendly Juan Orlando Hernandez had won the election after partial recounting of votes tallied did not tip the results in favor of his opponent Salvador Nasrallah. This despite widespread allegations of irregularities. Hours later, however, the Organization of American States have said that the process did not meet democratic standards. The Alvarez had flatly rejected the call for another vote, saying that the next elections won't take place before the 2021 of November. Angered by years of austerity and unpaid public sector salaries, the Kurdish protesters took to the streets of the northern Iraqi city of Suleimania. Now, the protesters are demanding that the semi-autonomous Kurdistan regional government should quit. At least 3,000 Kurdish demonstrators gathered for the protest, and they've carried signs in Kurdish, Arabic and English calling for the executive and the legislative branches of the KRG, the Kurdistan Republican government, to resign with immediate effect. Myanmar's security forces have discovered a mass grave on the edge of a village in the Rakhine state. The army has said that it has launched an investigation into the matter in recent months. A violent crackdown with the security forces in response to attacks by militants in the state has caused around 650,000 Rohingyas to flee into Bangladesh. The Myanmar's military commander-in-chief has said in a statement that the army has found some unidentified bodies at a cemetery in the village in Deen, which is said to be about 30 miles north of the state capital. A Lebanese Uber driver has been arrested for killing a British woman who had worked at the UK's embassy in Beirut. Now, this after he confessed of committing the crime, and investigations into the murder of Rebecca Dykes have showed that the motive was purely criminal and not political. A spokesperson for Uber has said that the company is horrified by this senseless act of violence and that it is working with authorities to assist in their investigation. The former nurse Sarah Mullally has been appointed as the Bishop of London. With this appointment, she becomes the first female to take the job, which is one of the most senior in the Church of England. The Mullally will succeed Richard Charteris to become the 133rd person to hold the role. Now, she'll be formally installed as the Bishop at London St Paul's Cathedral in the new year. Mullally was the former Chief Nursing Officer for England, the youngest person to be appointed to the post before she was ordained in the year 2001. The Trump administration is expected to publicly blame North Korea for unleashing the WannaCry cyber attack that had crippled hospitals, banks and other companies across the world earlier in the year. The announcement will be made later in the day. The accusation that the North Korean government was behind the so-called WannaCry attack comes as worried mount about North Korea hacking capabilities, and also its nuclear weapons program continues to intensify within the United States. Former Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin's son has been charged with assault and burglary in a violent confrontation with his father. According to the police, Track Palin got into a fight with his father over a family dispute. Track Palin has been charged with felony count of burglary and also with attempt to injury and a misdemeanor count of 4th-degree assault. Now, he's been barred from contacting his parents. The Catalonia's political leaders clashed in a final debate on Monday ahead of a pivotal regional vote. The final polls will be held on the 21st of December. The elections were called by Madrid to determine if the Catalonians want independence from Spain. The elections are expected to attract a record turnout. Former Catalan President Carles Puigdemont is campaigning from self-imposed exile in Brussels. Now, South African Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa has been elected to lead South Africa's ruling party, the African National Congress. He was narrowly elected head of the African National Congress on Monday, and thousands of raucous Ramaphosa supporters sang and chanted in the conference hall to celebrate the victory. The victory puts Ramaphosa in line to succeed President Jacob Zuma, whose reign has been plagued by corruption scandals, a slowing economy and also anger at the once omnipotent party. The mudslide in a small village in southern Chile near a popular national park has left about 5 people dead and at least 15 others missing. Nearly 48 hours after the mudslide, rescue workers and family are not giving up hope in the search for at least 15 people who are said to be missing. The calming winds on Monday helped firefighters slow the spread of a California wildfire that has plagued the region for several weeks now. Now, this, of course, is the third largest in the state history, and officials have said that as many as 8,500 firefighters were battling the so-called Thomas Fire in Southern California, which began on the 4th of December. It has destroyed more than 1,000 structures, and has also threatened 18,000 others. An online radio station that caters for the LGBT community, believed to be the first of its kind in the Arab world, started broadcasting in Tunisia on Monday. Now, the outlet that's been set up by the LGBT rights groups Shams aims to tackle deep-rooted hostility in the North African state where homosexuality is considered illegal. The station is meant to be on air daily from breakfast time till midnight and will be broadcasting programs on political, economic and social issues with a focus on the LGBT community. One of the oldest and the most famous Crimean wine factories, Nowy Sweat, will go on sale on Wednesday. The company was founded in year 1878 in the coastal Crimean village of Nowy Sweat. Now, until the March of 2014, it was said to be the state property of Ukraine, and it was nationalized by the authorities in Crimea following Moscow's annexation of the peninsula. Well, let's now move on to some national news now, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting the Lakshadweep Islands, Tamil Nadu and Kerala today to review the situation arising in the aftermath of Cyclone Oki. Now, during the visit, the Prime Minister will also check the status of the relief operations at Kavaratti, Kanyakumari and Thiruvananthapuram. He'll be meeting with officials and the cyclone victims, including the fishermen. Parts of Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep were very badly affected by Cyclone Oki. Prime Minister Modi has constantly been monitoring the situation arising out of the natural calamity in the southern parts of the country. President of India Nath Kovind will today address the valedictory function of the World Telugu Conference in Hyderabad. The President will be paying his respects to the statue of Lord Buddha at Hussain Sagar Lake, Hyderabad, before returning to the national capital. The government has said that there cannot be any comparison between the cost of the 36 Rafale fighter jets that it has inked with France and the price that was negotiated by the previous UPA regime, as the deliverables were completely different. Now, replying to a question on the issue in the Rajya Sabha, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that a better price was ensured while finalising the deal for 36 Rafale jets and that there was no increase in its cost. She, however, did not give the rates at which the government is procuring the combat jets from France. The Bombay High Court has asked the Maharashtra government to file an affidavit listing the steps that it proposes to take to ensure that underage people do not consume alcohol at the upcoming Sunburn Music Festival in Pune. A bench of justices also has directed the government to take an undertaking from the organisers of the festival, stating that they will pay all pending entertainment and related taxes from last year's festival as well as the dues for this year's event. The Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has said that education and judiciary are the two important sectors where reforms are presently needed urgently. Jaitley was reacting to the views of Professor Philip Altbach, an American author and researcher who spoke about the challenges that India is facing in the field of higher education. Actor Sunny Leone's much-touted performance now hinges on the Karnataka High Court, as the organizer of the event has filed a plea. The event was denied permission by the City Police Commissioner on grounds of security after a fringe pro-Kannada outfit had protested against the event and also burnt posters of the actor. The petitioner has asked the court to allow the event, and the case will be heard on Tuesday or Thursday. The Andhra Pradesh government has now finalised the design for its legislative assembly in its upcoming capital, Amaravati. The Andhra Pradesh government has also taken the opinion of the people into consideration to finalise the design, which was finalized after suggestions from the Bahubali movie director Rajamouli. However, politicians are still critical about the thousands of crores of rupees that are being spent on this particular project. But they're also questioning the need to spend so much public money on such lavish buildings at a time when several other projects are pending in the state. The former Kerala Chief Minister Oommen Chandy has approached the Kerala High Court with a plea to quash the judicial probe report into the solar scam that's been submitted to Chief Minister Pinera earlier this year. The multi-crore solar energy investment scam that had rocked the then Chandy government in 2013 was led by Sarita Nair and her live-in partner Biju Radhakrishnan, as it came to light that a section of the Chief Minister's office had links with the couple. The Hindu Jagran Manch has warned schools in Uttar Pradesh's Aligarh to not celebrate Christmas. As per the members of the Hindu outfit, celebrating Christmas is a step towards religious conversion. The president of the Hindu Jagran Manch has alleged that the activity of taking toys and gifts to schools will affect the mentality of young students. And the outfit has also directed the schools not to impose Christian celebrations on Hindu children because these actions indirectly lead to religious conversions.